What's new with Galaxy's Edge this week? Let's go ahead and check it out. What's up everybody, Dylan here with another theme park obsession video. Thanks for tuning in, I appreciate it. If you're new here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button because I have brand new videos every single week. But we're gonna go ahead and start off with the back half of Galaxy's Edge. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. All right, so here is a current look at the back side of Galaxy's Edge. Again, they're just finishing up some of the rock work, especially down in this area over here. And they're also addressing some of the major gaps that you can kind of notice on top of the building when you're on the Mark Twain riverboat. So they're going to go ahead and go back in and finish some of the rock work where you can see some of the bigger gaps, because again, they don't need to finish it all the way down to the building because you don't see that, but they do need to finish little bits and pieces here and there because some of it you do see when you're on the Mark Twain riverboat. But yeah, nice progress down on this side. It looks like they finished this road over here. They put some nice new trees right in there, and they put some of the dirt and I'm sure a little bit of gravel around there. So this whole area over here looks to be done. And yeah, they're just kind of working on this up here. And you can see some other little detail, the little rocks right there are sticking out. Those look really cool. Yeah, again, this is going to be fantastic when it opens. I can't wait. This is going to be one of the coolest things to see in theme park history. So what's cool is even though this is under refurbishment, you can still go on the Mark Twain riverboat. So let's go ahead and jump on to get a better look at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. So they closed the third level of the Mark Twain, but that's okay. We'll still stay on the second level and get a good view of Galaxy's Edge. We'll especially get a view of some of those gaps and seeing what they're doing to go ahead and address those that are visible from inside the park. So while we're on the Mark Twain, you can see that they're starting to do some work over here by the Haunted Mansion. And again, this is probably for the Project Stardust to eliminate a lot of the obstacles here at the park in preparation for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. But yeah, that's what it looks like over here. It looks like they're shaving off a lot of that planter that was right here. All right, so it was very hard to see anything from this level, but I do see that they do still have a big giant crane over here, and I'm sure that they're just using that right now to lift in some more heavy pieces. I know they've been putting in a lot of set pieces lately because again, we only have a couple more months left before they open up to the public, and you can see the construction workers right over there. But yeah, it looks like they are putting in some sort of show element or the top of a building because lately that's what they've been doing, is just putting in a lot of show elements. And then here's a finished look at some of that rock work. Again, this is all complete now, and it looks really, really good. I love this. Again, it's going to look fantastic when we're inside of the guest point of view looking up at this, because I bet it's going to look even more grand from the ground level. Ooh, and there's a shot of the train. Love that. Always love getting a shot of the train in the background. But again, you can see how the Imagineers really worked on trying to make this look like it's farther than it actually is. The paint job on this rock work is awesome. And the rocks that are farther back behind some of the big, like this one right here, there are actually some pieces farther back. And those look even better too, because it makes it look like it's just miles behind it. They did a great job on the rock work. I can't wait to see this. I am sure all of you guys are just as excited as I am. And yes, they are addressing this panel gap right here. It looks like they've installed some meshwork right there to go ahead and put some more rock work. And you can see right here, that rock work right there, you can see that it looks like it's miles in the background. So yeah, that was a look at Galaxy's Edge from Mark Twain. Again, it was very difficult to kind of see Galaxy's Edge just because we weren't allowed on that third level, but it's okay. We'll go ahead and take a look at some other areas in the park, see if we can get some different vantage points of Galaxy's Edge. Let's go ahead and check it out. Now this entrance right here, I think is going to be the one that they're going to have all the guests go in to Galaxy's Edge through. And it's the one closest to Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. It's the widest path they have, because the other paths closest to Fantasyland and Critter Country are not as wide as this one. So I could just assume already off of that this is going to be the main entrance point to where they might push people through Galaxy's Edge and then they might exit people out through Critter Country. So if you're coming here opening day, I believe this is where they're going to go ahead and push people through, because it just makes the most sense. So from Toontown, you can definitely see Galaxy's Edge. And again, I wonder if they're gonna address like these parts of the rockwork on that side, because that is pretty visible from inside the park here. But again, I wonder if they'll just put trees to block that. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they do in the next couple of months before opening, if they do address this. If not, again, it's not the biggest deal. It's just, you know, Disney fans kind of addressing some things. But this is, again, visible to park guests. But yeah, again, it's gonna be interesting to see. It looks like they're doing a flyover of Galaxy's Edge right here. They usually do this every single day to go ahead and check up on the construction progress. But on top of Donald's boat here, you can see, again, there's these back halves of the rockwork that haven't been enclosed. Again, I don't think it's gonna be that big of an issue. It's not a big issue for me. I don't know what Disney's gonna do, and it's gonna be interesting, again, to see what they do in the next couple of weeks to go ahead and address that, if they do address it. But this is actually a really good view of Galaxy's Edge and just this whole piece of rockwork right here from this side in Toontown. Honestly, what they might do to the back half of this is just put a giant big gray screen on the back of this, similar to how they did in Cars Land. On the backside of the Cars Land rockwork, they have a big giant like tannish scrim that goes on the backside of it to kind of cover it up. So they might do the same thing with the rockwork here in Galaxy's Edge. So another thing I just briefly wanted to talk about was what Disney had released a couple days ago, and that was some of the food and merchandise and some new concept art they showed from inside the land. And I gotta say, it looks beautiful. This is probably one of the most immersive, incredible things that the park has ever done, if not any theme park in the world has ever done. The food alone looks really amazing, and it's just quick service food. This is not food you get at a restaurant. This is just food you can walk up to a counter, go ahead and grab it, and go sit down somewhere. And that is really spectacular, that they've been able to pull off some really good options, as well as the merchandise. There's so many different things you can do with merchandise for Galaxy's Edge, and it looks like they've thought of everything. So again, it's gonna be just an experience in itself, going through a lot of the shops and restaurants, and just to explore Galaxy's Edge because it's so huge. Remember, this is 14 acres. This is one of the largest things that they've ever done here at the park. Cars Land is a little bit smaller than that, so if you just take the scope and, you know, go ahead and multiply that, because that's how big Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is. So there's gonna be a lot of nooks and crannies to go exploring, and a lot of these food and beverage items are gonna be tucked away in a lot of these areas. Looking at this entrance portal alone gives you an idea of what they're pulling off here. I mean, just kind of standing here and knowing that Galaxy's Edge is on the other side of this wall is pretty crazy, and it's like getting me more excited about experiencing this when it opens. But again, they're really, you can tell that they are trying to really make this intimate for when you go ahead and enter Galaxy's Edge, that it's gonna be something very grand and a really cool, like, wow moment. So yeah, this rockwork that they've done here definitely fits Frontierland perfectly, but it's gonna be awesome going through this into Galaxy's Edge. So yeah, that's gonna go ahead and do it for the Galaxy's Edge update I got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, don't be afraid to hit the subscribe button, because I have brand new videos every single week. Until next time, I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time in the parks. Bye.